Greetings to all. Welcome back to online classes. Today we are going to see the second part of the lesson anti-colonial movements and the birth of nationalism. Okay, second part anti-colonial movements and the birth of nationalism. First of all, the Great Rebellion of 1857. Great Rebellion of 1857. The Great Rebellion of 1857 is considered as first war of Indian independence. Okay, first war of Indian independence. It is also known as Sepoy Mutiny. It is also known as Sepoy Mutiny. In 1857, British rule witnessed the biggest challenge to its existence. Okay, in 1857, British rule witnessed the biggest challenge to its existence. First of all, it began as a mutiny of Bengal Presidency Sepoys. Bengal Presidency Sepoys. Later, it expanded to other parts of India also. Okay, other parts of India also. Large number of civilians participated. Large number of civilians participated, particularly peasants, farmers. Okay, peasants, that is farmers. The events of 1857 to 58 are very, very important because of some reasons. Okay, because of some reasons. First one, this is the first major revolt of armed forces. First major revolt of armed forces accompanied by civilian rebellion. Okay, accompanied by civilian rebellion. Second one, the revolt witnessed, the revolt witnessed unprecedented violence. Here unprecedented means rare, induced by both sides. Okay, the revolt witnessed unprecedented violence induced by both sides. The revolt entered the role of East India Company. Okay, entered the role of East India Company. The governance of the Indian subcontinent was taken over by the British Crown. British Crown, that is British government. Okay, the governance of the Indian subcontinent was taken over by the British Crown. Next, the causes of the revolt of 1857. Okay, causes of the revolt of 1857. Many causes were mainly responsible for the outbreak of the revolt of 1857. Okay, first one, annexation policy of British India. Annexation policy of British India. In the 1840s and 1850s, more territories were annexed through two major policies. Okay, through two major policies. First one is a doctrine of paramountcy. Doctrine of paramountcy. British considered themselves as paramount. Paramount means uppermost, and have supreme authority. Okay, British considered themselves as paramount and have supreme authority. New territories were annexed on the grounds that the native rulers were corrupt and inept. Okay, native rulers were corrupt and inept. Inept means inefficient. Inept means inefficient. Next, the doctrine of lapse. The doctrine of lapse. If a native ruler did not have a male heir to the throne, okay, if a native ruler did not have a male heir to the throne, the territory was to lapse into British India upon the death of the ruler. Okay, British India upon the death of the ruler. That is, the territory was under the control of the British. Okay, under the control of the British. Through this doctrine of lapse, the British annexed Satara, Sambalpur, parts of Punjab, Jhansi and Nagpur. Okay. Through this doctrine of lapse, the British annexed Satara, Sambalpur, parts of Punjab, Jhansi and Nagpur. Second one, insensitivity to Indian cultural sentiments. Insensitivity to Indian cultural sentiments. Okay. In 1806, the Vellore revolt was started by the Sepoys. Okay, in 1806, the Vellore revolt was started by the Sepoys. The British prohibited the Indians from wearing religious marks on their foreheads and having whiskers on their chin. The British proposed the Indians to replace their turbans with a round hat. Okay, replace their turbans with a round hat. It was feared that the dress code was the part of their effort to convert soldiers to Christianity. Okay, effort to convert soldiers to Christianity. Like that, in 1824, the sepoys at Barakpur near Calcutta refused to go to Burma by sea because they thought that if they crossed the sea, they will lose their caste. Okay, like that in the year 1824, the sepoys at Barakpur near Calcutta refused to go to Burma by sea because they thought that if they crossed the sea, they will lose their caste. Okay, next one. The sepoys were also upset with the discrimination in salary and promotion. The Indian sepoys got less salary than the European sepoys. The Indian sepoys were humiliated and racially abused by their seniors. Now, the revolt. The precursor to the revolt was, precursor here means a substance in which another is formed. Okay. The precursor to the revolt was the circulation of rumors about the cartridges of the Enfield rifle. Okay. Rumors about the cartridges of the Enfield rifle. There was a strong suspicion. Okay. There was a strong suspicion that the new cartridges had been greased with the cow and pig fat. Okay. New cartridges had been greased with the cow and pig fat. The cartridge had to be bitten off before loading. Pork is forbidden to the Muslims, and the cow is sacred to a large section of Hindus. Okay. Mangal Pandey, an Indian sepoy, assaulted his European officer on 29th March. Okay. His fellow soldiers refused to arrest him. So, Mangal Pandey with others were hanged. Okay. This incident added fuel to fire. Disobedience increased. Okay. Disobedience also increased. Burning and arson were reported from Ambala, Lucknow and Meerut. Also Meerut. Next we will see Bahadur Shah proclaimed as Emperor of Hindustan. A group of sepoys from Meerut marched to Red Fort in Delhi on 11th May 1857. The sepoys were followed by an equally interested crowd. They asked the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah to become their leader. Okay, Bahadur Shah too became their leader. They made Bahadur Shah as their leader. Okay. After much hesitation, he accepted the offer and was proclaimed as the Emperor of Hindustan. Okay. After much hesitation, Bahadur Shah too accepted the offer and was proclaimed as the Emperor of Hindustan. Soon the rebels captured northwestern province. Okay. And Awadh, that is Ayodhya. Okay, Awadh, Ayodhya. The news of the fall of Delhi reached the Ganges Valley. Okay, the news of the fall of Delhi reached the Ganges Valley. Till the beginning of June, cantonment after cantonment, mutiny occurred. Okay, mutiny occurred. In North India, except Punjab and Bengal, in all other places, British rule had disappeared. Okay, in North India, except Punjab and Bengal, in all other places, British rule had disappeared. Next, civil rebellion. Okay, civil rebellion. The mutiny was equally supported by and aggrieved, that is, affected village people of North India. Okay, village people of North India. In fact, the sepoys working in the British army were peasants in uniform. Peasants, that is farmers, in uniform. They also suffered due to reconstructing the revenue administration. Due to the reconstruction of the revenue administration. Okay. The Sepoy Mutiny and the civil rebellion had a deep-rooted connection with the rural mass. The first civil rebellion broke out in parts of the northwestern provinces and out OUDH. Okay. Many zamindars and talukdars were attracted to the rebellion. Because they had lost their various privileges under the British government. The Talukdar peasant collective was considered as a common effort to recover what they had lost. Dumping of British manufacturers had ruined the Indian handicrafts. Okay, dumping of British manufacturers had ruined the Indian handicrafts. Thousands of weavers lost their employment. Thus, collective anger against the British took the form of a people's revolt. Okay, collective anger against the British took the form of a people's revolt. Next, prominent fighters against the British. The mutiny provided a platform to the affected kings, queens, nawabs and zamindars to express the anti-British anger. Nana Sahib, the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao II, became the leader of Kanpur region. Okay, Nana Sahib, the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao II, became the leader of the Kanpur region. The company stopped the pension of Nana Sahib. Begum Hasrat Mahal in Lucknow and Khan Bahadur in Bareilly became the leaders of their respective territories. Okay, Begum Hasrat Mahal in Lucknow and Khan Bahadur in Bareilly became the leader of their respective territories because these territories were once ruled by their ancestors. Okay, Another important leader was Rani Lakshmi Bai. She was the leader of Jhansi. Lord Dalhousie refused her request to adopt a son as her successor. Jhansi was annexed by the British under the doctrine of lapse. Rani Lakshmi Bai fought against the British army until she was defeated. The important leaders of the mutiny were Rani Lakshmi Bai, Bahadur Shah Jafar and Khan Bahadur. Okay, important leaders of the mutiny were Rani Lakshmi Bai, Bahadur Shah Jafar and Khan Bahadur. Okay, now suppression of the rebellion. In June 1857, Delhi, Meerut, Rohilkhand, Agra, Allahabad and Benares were under the control of the British. That is Delhi, Meerut, Rohilkhand, Agra, Allahabad and Benares were under the control of the British. Next, we will see causes for the failure of the revolt. Okay, causes for the failure of the revolt, that is 1857 revolt. The first and the foremost cause, that is disunity among the Indians. Okay, disunity among the Indians was the first and the foremost cause. Next, there was no evidence to prove that the 1857 rebellion was organized and planned. Okay, there was no evidence to prove that the 1857 rebellion was organized and planned. It was spontaneous. Okay, it was spontaneous. Spontaneous means sudden. So, that is, it was a sudden attack. Okay, 1857 mutiny was a sudden attack. First of all, Delhi was captured. Soon after, these steps were taken to get the support of the neighboring states. taken to get the support of the neighboring states. Except one or two states, other states were not willing to participate in this rebellion. Okay, except one or two states, other states were not willing to participate in this rebellion. The Indian princes and zamindars were fearful of the British power. Okay, Indian princes and the zamindars were fearful of the British power. Those who participated in the rebellion had little arms and ammunitions. They had only little arms and ammunitions. The educational Indians, that is the educated Indians, did not support the movement. Educated Indians did not support the movement. One of the important reasons for the failure of the rebellion was the absence of central authority. Okay, absence of a central authority. The British prevented the Indians to join the war. Okay, the British prevented the Indians to join the war because they followed the divide and rule policy. Okay, the divide and rule policy of the British prevented the Indians to join the war. No common agenda was there. No common agenda was there. Agenda here means a fixed procedure. Okay. No common agenda was there to unite the individuals and the aspirations of the Indian princes. Okay. No common agenda was there to unite the individuals and the aspirations of the Indian princes. Finally, the rebellion was suppressed by the British army. The rebellion was suppressed by the British army. The rebel leaders were defeated. The rebel leaders were defeated because of many reasons. First one, lack of weapons. Okay, lack of weapons. Second one, organization. Third one, discipline. And fourth one is betrayal. Betrayal by the helpers. Okay, betrayal by the helpers. In late 1857, Delhi was captured by the British. In late 1857, Delhi was captured by the British. Bahadur Shah was captured and transported to Burma. Okay, Bahadur Shah was captured and transported to Burma. Next, India becomes a crown colony. India becomes a British colony. Okay, the British were shocked by the events of 1857 mutiny. Okay, British were shocked by the events of 1857 mutiny. The British Parliament adopted the Indian Government Act in November 1858. India was pronounced as one of the colonies. India was pronounced as one of the colonies to be directly governed by the Parliament. Directly governed by the Parliament. The responsibility was given to a member of the cabinet. Responsibility was given to a member of the cabinet, and he became the Secretary of State for India. Okay, he became the Secretary of State for India. Now, changes in the administration. Changes in the administration. Many changes occurred in the British rule and its policies after 1857. Many changes occurred in the British rule and its policies after 1857. British followed a cautious approach to the issue of a social reform. Okay, social reform. Queen Victoria proclaimed to the Indian people that the British government would not interfere in traditional institutions and religious matters. Okay, Queen Victoria proclaimed to the Indian people that the British government would not interfere in traditional institutions and religious matters. It was promised that Indians would be appointed in government services. Okay, two important changes were made to the structure of the Indian army. Important changes were made to the structure of the Indian army. The number of Indians was reduced. Indians were restricted from holding important rank and position. Okay, and the British took the control of the artillery also. The British shifted their effort to the communities that remained loyal to them during 1857 mutiny. The British shifted their effort to the communities that remained loyal to them during 1857 mutiny. The British turned away, that is neglected. Okay, the British turned away means what? Neglected. They turned away from Rajputs, Brahmins and North Indian Muslims, but they looked towards non-Hindu groups. Okay, non-Hindu into groups like Gorkhas, Sikhs, and also Panthans. Okay, and also Pathans. Gorkhas, Sikhs, and also Pathans. The British utilized the caste, religious, linguistic, and regional differences in the Indian society. Differences in the Indian society, that is known as a divide and rule policy. Divide and rule policy. Next, peasant revolts under crown. Peasant revolts under crown. Before synthetic dyes were created, natural indigo dye was highly valued. This natural indigo was used by cloth makers around the world. Used by the cloth makers around the world. Many Europeans were willing to become indigo planters in India and decided to earn very good amount. Okay, decided to earn very good amount. They employed Indian peasants to grow indigo. Indian peasants to grow indigo. Indigo was processed into dye at the planters' factories. At the planters' factories. Then the dye was exported to Europe. This system was oppressive. The Indian peasants were forced to grow the crop. Indian peasants were forced to grow the crop. The British planter gave the cultivator a cash advance. British planter gave the cultivator a cash advance. This advance should be repaid with interest. Okay, that advance should be repaid with interest. The British planters forced the peasant grow indigo rather than food crops. Grow indigo rather than food crops. The planters paid low prices to the cultivators for their indigo. The small amount the peasant earned was not enough to pay back the cash advance with interest. Okay, the small amount the peasant earned was not enough to pay back the cash advance with interest. So they fell into debt. The peasants again would be forced to enter into another contract to grow indigo. Enter into another contract to grow indigo. The peasants were not able to clear their debts. Not able to clear their debts. Often the debts were passed from father to son. Okay, the debts were passed from father to son. The Indigo Revolt began in 1859. The rebellion began as a strike only. The peasants of a village in Nadia district refused to grow indigo. Nadia district is in Bengal. The movement spread quickly to other indigo growing districts of Bengal. The revolt turned violent. The peasants, both Hindu and Muslim, participated in the revolt. Women armed with pots and pans fought alongside the men. Okay, alongside the men. Indian journalists in Calcutta wrote articles about the brutality of the planters. Anyhow, the indigo industry quickly declined in Bengal. By the end of the 19th century, the demand for natural indigo dye began to decline worldwide. Now, Deccan riots 1875. Heavy taxation ruined agriculture. Famine deaths increased. The first recorded incident of rioting against the moneylenders in Deccan. Was May 1875 in Supa. Supa, a village near Pune. Again, similar cases of riots were reported from close to 30 villages in Pune and Ahmednagar. The rioting was directed mostly at the Gujarat moneylenders. Okay, rioting was directed mostly at the Gujarat moneylenders. Under British rule, peasants were forced to pay revenue directly to the government. Under a new law, the moneylenders were allowed to attach the mortgaged land of the defaulters. Okay, mortgaged land of the defaulters. Here, mortgaged means getting money in exchange of one's property. Okay, exchange of one's property. This resulted in a transfer of lands from cultivators to the non-cultivating classes. The people suffered a lot in the cycle of debt. They were unable to pay the outstanding amount. The peasants couldn't cultivate the land. Okay. Now this is time to mark one word answers. Okay, one word answers. Roman number 1, choose the correct answer. Roman number 1, choose the correct answer. Okay. Question number 1. Which one of the following was launched by Haji Shariatullah in 1818 in East Bengal? Answer B. Farasi Moment. B. Farasi Moment. Question number 2. Who declared that land belongs to God? Land belongs to God, and collecting rent tax on it was against divine law. Answer C. Dutumiyan. Dutumiyan. Question number 3. Who were driven out of their homeland during the process of creation of Zamins under permanent settlement? Answer A. Santals. Santals. Question number 4. Find out the militant nationalist from the following. Answer C. Bipin Chandra Pal. Bipin Chandra Pal. Question number 5. When did the partition of Bengal come into effect? Answer D. 16th October 1905. Okay, 1905. Question number 6. What was the context in which the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act was passed? Answer C. Munda Rebellion. Munda Rebellion. Question number 7. Who set up the first Home Rule League in April 1916? Answer D. Tilak. Question number 8. Who drew the attention of the British to the suffering of indigo cultivation through his play Nil Darpan? That is Dina Bandhu Mitra. Dina Bandhu Mitra. Okay. Now, Roman number 2, fill in the blanks. Question number 1. In 1757, Robert Clive was financially supported by Dash, the moneylenders of Bengal. First answer, that is Jagat Seths. Okay, Jagat Seths. Question number 2. Dash was an anti-imperial and anti-landlord movement which originated in and around 1827. Answer Wahhabi Rebellion. Wahhabi Rebellion. Question number 3. The major tribal revolt which took place in Chota Nagpur region was Coal Revolt. Third question, answer Coal Revolt. Question number 4. The Dash Act restricted the entry of non-tribal people into the tribal land. Answer Chota Nagpur Tenancy. Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act. Question number 5. Around 1854, activities of social banditti were led by Bir Singh. Bir Singh. Question number 6. The British commander of Kanpur killed by the rebels during the 1857 rebellion was Dash. Major General Huck Wheeler. Major General Huck Wheeler. Question number 7. Chota Nagpur Act was passed in the year 1908. 1908. W.C. Banerjee, that's Umesh Chandra Banerjee, was elected the President of the Indian National Congress in the year 1885. 1885. Now, Roman number 3, choose the correct statement. Choose the correct statement. First one, A is the correct answer. For first question, A is the correct answer. Question number 2, C is the correct answer. For question number 3, B is the correct answer. For question number 4, A is the correct answer. Now, come down. Roman number 4, that is match the following. Question number 1, Wahhabi movement. Answer Titumir. Second one, Munda Rebellion, Ranchi. Munda Rebellion, Ranchi. Question number 3, Begum Hazrat Mahal, Lucknow. Begum Hazrat Mahal, Lucknow. Question number 4, Kanwar Singh. Kanwar Singh, Bihar. And Nana Sahib, Peshwa Bajirao 2. Okay. 3, 5, 1, 2, 4. 3, 5, 1, 2, 4. Okay. And remaining question answers and the next part of the lesson I'll teach you in the next class. Okay, I'll teach you in the next class. Okay children, with this I finish today's session. I'll meet you in the next session with the next part of the lesson and the remaining question answers. Bye children, thank you.